Welcome back to another episode of Sundays for NASCAR. I'm your host, Joe Barron. Tonight, we're in a special treat. My good friend, pit crew member of formerly Chip Ganassi, now Trackhouse, tire changer, Keiston France is here to join us on the show tonight. Let's give a warm welcome to our friend Keiston. And as always, our intro starts now. Keiston, how you doing, my man? Been a minute. We saw you at Atlanta and we've
Yeah,
kept in contact. How's life?
man, life is beautiful, dude. I'm living the dream, as they say. Literally my dream, being in the sport of NASCAR. I'm back home right now, enjoying the week leading up to Thanksgiving. I'm from the country, from Amelia, not far from Denny Hamlin, in Chesterfield, about 15, 20 minutes west of him.
Denny Hamlin
And
was
that,
so close to winning his championship.
oh no, we would have had a grand parade for him in Chesterfield.
I'm sure.
I was waiting on that. I was waiting on that. But I'm since Junior retired, I've been a Elliott fan. So I was going for him. Huge fan of Kyle Larson. I mean, you can't hate the guy.
Right.
But I really wanted to see Denny pull it out for us here back in Chesterfield, Virginia, or
Definitely, definitely.
however, because he's raced out here in Amelia. We have a track out this way, and the Burtons and himself, Hamlin, he raced out here, so it would have been cool. But maybe next year.
Definitely. Well,
But
Keiston, you're the tire changer for Chip Ganassi, well, formerly known as Chip Ganassi. The
mhm,
new big news, Trackhouse has bought out Chip Ganassi Warehouse. We saw on the
right.
internet, Twitter, Ross Chastain posted out tweets. It was, I mean, it's making headlines. How's life over there in the new Trackhouse Warehouse?
It's different. And no offense to Chip, but it's a younger environment, a younger mentality. The intensity is just different. I mean, we basically have a chip on our shoulders. Yeah, people know Trackhouse, but they don't know Trackhouse
Right.
like that. We don't have as many followers as Chip Ganassi, so we do have something to prove. And I feel like with the new leadership, we're gonna get it done. With Justin and Pitbull, it'll be more of a focus, right, on
Okay.
just stock car racing.
Right.
And I think that'll be the difference maker. I mean, I don't know if you saw what NASCAR put out on the reveal of the brand new, not the brand new shop, but the new configuration, I guess you would say. I mean, it's
The new rebranding of the shop.
yeah. I mean, they spiced it up, man, and I like it. I like the energy. I
I
love
like
it.
the blue, man. The blue's growing on my
Yeah,
heart a little bit.
yeah. I know I was never a huge fan of red. My favorite color is purple, but you need a little blue to make purple. So
Blue.
I'm digging it too. It's a lot cooler of a color. So
So
um,
we
yeah,
did see the huge, I guess, grand opening official of Trackhouse. What was that? Yesterday, the day before. Um,
yeah,
how was that? Did you go?
yeah. I was in the building. It was mandatory. So, but
Mandatory. Okay.
I wasn't gonna miss. It was mandatory if you were in town, and so I was
Gotcha.
definitely gonna be in town for that. And it
Oh,
was like I
100%.
said, it was cool, man. It was real cool having the media there, and Justin having the personalized video from Pitbull himself, recorded for us. I mean, it was real cool, man. I enjoyed it. The Panera bread they catered for us. I mean, it was great.
Panera Bread is awesome, man. That
Yeah,
sounds
heck yeah.
sounds
Especially
like
the
a lot.
cinnamon crust bagels. That gets me in trouble. So
I remember you were talking about earlier with me that you're still seeing a lot of familiar faces,
yeah,
and it's how is that? Is everything so? We're moving from Chip Ganassi to Trackhouse. Of course, we're
right.
bringing on new faces. Is everything clashing well? Is everything the gears all moving? How's that feel there?
Yeah, I mean, I know for me, I've worked with some of the guys, um, not only from Ganassi, because evidently we lost a lot of guys. A lot of guys were released, but they kept a majority of people from Chip Ganassi. A lot of the guys from the 42 side, um, they kept. 23XI stole a lot of our guys, but it's cool. But
Right.
then for me, like when I was pitting for Venturini, when we won with Christian Eckes and Michael Self, and even when I was doing work with Haley Deegan when she was driving 55, a lot of those guys came from over there to our shop. So it's like, hey man, weren't you with what? Did we win together? Like I literally
Right.
remember showing a guy a photo. It was funny because I was talking to a teammate of mine. I was like, I've seen that guy somewhere else, but I couldn't figure it out. And I went to Facebook, and you can see it is my backdrop. I think when we won in DeCoin, I saw the guy, and I was like, wow, that's him. And I went back up to him. I was like, hey man, this is you, isn't it? He was like, yeah, man, that's crazy.
We won together. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so that was cool. But a lot of guys came from GMS, Venturini, so winning pedigrees, right? They know what it feels like to win. They know what it takes to win. So
Right.
we all have that winning mindset, and you can get along pretty easily when you have that correlation. So I think we're going to be all right. Everything seems to be running smoothly so
Very,
far.
very
Yeah,
cool. So you're the tire changer, and being a tire changer, the next gen car, one of the biggest changes of the next gen is the one lug. How do you
yeah.
feel about it? Is my first question. My second question is how fast can you change? How fast is your pit stops?
Well, I'll remind you too. I built interiors this past year for the 42,
Oh, you
and
did. I
the
forgot about
car.
that, but yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The car not only on with the lug nuts has changed, but the inside, man, there's a lot more technology, involved. A lot more money involved. I mean, they were already rich. I mean, richly built cars,
Right.
if you will. But man, it's they've upped that up with all of the technology that they've added, the different style, the carbon style body. Um, it's whew. But in reference to going from 5 lugs to what they call a capture nut, um, as a fan, not as a guy working in the sport, as a fan, I don't like it at all because
Okay.
I feel like it takes the drama out of the sport, out of the pit stops. It's like watching the band at halftime. A lot of people pay to watch the band at
They
halftime, and
definitely do. You're right.
we were that. I
The
mean,
drama's gone.
yeah, well, not fully because you can mess some stuff up if you don't get that one lug nut tight. That
Definitely.
can ruin your day.
You got a loose
You know,
lug in turn three. That would be terrible, but I
that's it.
trust that
That's it.
you won't let that happen.
No, sir. No, sir. We already instilling our coaches are instilling that into our minds, how to properly secure that thing. And I'm sure we're not the only ones, but it's no more of, hey, we got a loose wheel, I need to come back down, right? No, you have a loose wheel, that'll ruin your day, basically. It'll destroy the threads, destroy the nut. The rim, if you dent the rim just a little, the
Definitely.
tire won't go on flush. So, you have to be exact, you have to be accurate. The fastest time that my group has ran was about 10.5. We're averaging about 11 or so,
Okay.
because like I mentioned to you before, we have to wait on the car to be fueled.
Right.
And we're going to be done with the process so quickly. The
Yeah,
gas man's still going to
you're
have to
sitting
be,
there
yeah, at least
waiting
another
on
half.
the gas. That's what I was talking about with Nick
Yeah,
earlier throughout the entire season when they announced that the one lug is coming. And I was
yeah.
just like, are they going to implement anything with the gas? Because there's no way of making the gas really fall any quicker than it already is, because those gas tanks are
No,
engineered to make them flow as fast as possible without shooting CO2 or something behind it and
yeah.
trying to just pressurize it right into the gas tank. So,
Exactly. And again, we're still engineering some things, so we don't totally know for certain. But I mean, with February right around the corner, we're pretty sure that that's how they're still going to fuel the car. So I don't know, man. We just have to see as February gets closer, to us. But yeah, I'm guessing teams are going to average about 11 seconds. If you do everything right. There's no rushing on this deal. It's no rushing. Sit down, engage, take the nut off, boom. It's really a much more of a placement, right? You're not slamming the tires on anymore. It's more
right,
fragile than they used to be. And just boom, button it up and get the other side done, right? You do
right.
that, you can get out of there. You can walk it probably and get around 11 seconds. You can, you can, you
Could
can.
you
No,
imagine?
no, you're laughing. You can walk a 5 lug pit stop and get maybe 14 seconds. Yeah, yeah. Just have to hit
Impressive.
5 lug nuts. Don't
Yeah.
miss. Get the peg. What have you? But yeah, it'll. I don't like it, but hey, you got to be able to adjust with the times, or
How
you're gonna
much
get left behind. So.
how much different is the air gun from last year's to next year's?
Maybe slightly bigger. Paoli is the same company that we're using,
Okay.
that we used in Xfinity and Cup. Because I may have shown you, I think I showed you my gun,
You
but in
did show
trucks,
me you showed me the one we were using this year, and you showed me a new one too.
yeah, the one I was using in trucks, a hammer gun. But yeah, Paoli, same company is providing it. Maybe slightly a bigger body. Socket is definitely a lot bigger. Right.
Oh,
We had a prototype that had a smaller socket, but when the actual one came out, the socket was a bit bigger.
gotcha.
But same size, very nose heavy. But once you get it in your hand and start engaging, you're not going to recognize it. We're learning how to do it left-handed uh,
And
over
you're not
at
left-handed, are you? You're right-handed.
not at all. I'm not a huge fan of it, but hey, it is what it is, man. I can do it either way. Ambidextrous, is that what they call them?
There you
So
go.
I can do it either way, but they just felt like it's a little quicker to do it left. But most of the teams aren't doing that. I think we're the only ones doing it. But hey, if you become good at it, it may change the sport a little. So, but yeah, just slightly bigger socket, a little nose heavy, but you don't recognize it honestly.
Very cool. So
Yeah.
you used to be the interior designer for Ross Chastain. With the new cars coming out, I know that they're trying to make pretty much everything is going to be the same as the next teams. Is there
Yeah.
going to be much designing on the inside of these new cars?
Well, I didn't do too much of the designing. I did more
Okay.
of
Just
of
the
the build.
interior work, right?
Yeah, yeah. So when it comes to the build of it, NASCAR is really creating it in a way where we can't do a lot of modifications.
Okay.
We can't. It's gonna come pretty much built in a way. All we have to do is just connect stuff. I will not be in that role this year, but looking at it, it's more wires, more electronics, um, a lot more sensors. I mean, it's gonna be yeah, a lot more things to mess up, I can say, than the original, the last gen. But like I said again, NASCAR is making it in a way where we can't really mess with it like that, even during practice or
Right.
qualifying. We can't touch it too much. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, a little bit. It's just a lot more wires and really just a
Yeah.
lot of connecting.
Yeah, yeah. Even when it comes to the fuel cell and how that's placed in the car, it's a lot. Just to say the least, yeah, I would have to show you, which I guess I wouldn't be allowed to, but you would have to see it to know, holy flip, like it's a lot going on, dude. It's a lot
Right.
going on.
I
A
could
lot
only
to pay attention to as a builder, I guess you would say, or as a mechanic. So
these cars, I mean, like you said, they're more expensive, but they're built to try, I guess, to save money in the long run for the teams, because we are saving. It's
yeah,
what I mean, that's what
so
they were
much.
talking about earlier on. I know that
Yeah,
there's a lot of speculation and different things that people are saying. Austin Dillon's car being totally totaled after his
yeah,
test drive at Charlotte the other week.
yeah.
That was an oops on NASCAR's part. I don't know if that should have been shown, but hey, we're here. The Daytona 500 is rapidly approaching. It can't get here quick enough, but are
Yeah.
you looking forward to seeing the new gen car, seeing Ross Chastain, seeing Daniel Suarez running top 10, top 5, maybe even first place this year or next year?
You said maybe. I don't like that word, man. We are going to be
Yeah, you're
doing some
right.
races. So let's
Hey,
get
you
that
know,
straight, Joe.
the
But no, no,
watermelon
no.
girl lives in this household. She's always cheering for Ross Chastain being in
Yeah,
front. So I know for a fact she's going to be happy in victory lane at some point this year.
definitely, definitely. But I know what you're saying. I'm just having that consistent success running in the top 10, which unfortunately with Chip Ganassi wasn't always the case. So just seeing that yeah, it'll bring tears to my eyes, honestly, because I feel like I have a personal connection with this team. They gave me my very first shot, pretty much working with a big organization. And so just seeing them succeed, it's something that I pray for. So definitely can't wait for that, man. And like we mentioned before, we have two young guys that are hungry, right? Ross, he came close that year racing in trucks, but he's no foreigner to victory lane. Daniel Suarez with being the Xfinity Series champion.
Right.
They all know what it takes to win, and that drive, they need, and that aggressiveness that they need, when to go and when to hold or when to fold. They are aware of that. And so I feel like we have really a good chance at it. I mean, there are a lot of great guys out there that's racing. I mean, a lot of young talent, but we're hungry, dude. We're the only big team, I guess, out of the top 5 big teams that's never won a title. So we have a huge chip on our shoulder and something to prove.
Definitely.
And I think we're gonna tear them up, man. We're gonna tear
Definitely.
them up, and I'm banking on this year, dude. Why not us? That's our new motto. Why not us? It used to be win or learn, but hey, we've learned enough. I feel, and so it's time to get going.
Definitely Trackhouse deserves it. There's been a lot of hard racing between Daniel Suarez and the Watermelon Man. It's not unrealistic, and I'm excited to see it. It's going to happen. Definitely victory is coming y'all's way. Bringing home the championship 2022 trophy to Trackhouse. Never crossed the pass on those floors before.
No, sir.
I'm praying for y'all.
Yeah, we've been Daytona 500 champs, Indy
Definitely.
Indy champs. It's just Brickyard. We won that, but never have we finished out with the big one. So, and I think we have the guys to do it. So.
Well, Keiston, it's been a blast talking to you. I always enjoy us having our chats, man.
Yeah.
Before we go, I know that you have a podcast. It's like where I like to go get my daily dose of Jesus and God. Go ahead and give a shout out.
Yeah, man. Bible 360. We're basically everywhere. iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon, Audible, Apple, Google, you name it, we're there. YouTube. And just trying to get the word out, man. That's our job as believers, as Christians, right? To spread the gospel,
Getting God's
teaching
word
all
out.
nations, right? It's biblical. So I'm just doing what he wants us all to do, right? And using my media knowledge, my production degree to get it out there. You
There you
see, and
go.
if I reach out to one person, that's great, right? But we're streaming it all across the world. We have people out of India and Germany, Great Britain, Australia, um, South America. I mean, they're all Canada. Everyone's tuning in, so it's been a blessing, right? I'm actually, when I get off of here, I'm actually going to record another episode. So, I've been enjoying it, and I've been praying that it just blesses someone. So yeah.
It's definitely touched my heart, man. And I know that I
Appreciate it,
tell you
man.
all the time, but I love how I can just get on there and just listen to a verse, and it
Yeah,
brightens my day that much more, man. And I can just
yeah,
smile at someone and wave, or it just makes me
man, yeah.
help somebody.
Yeah, the Bible does it to you, man. Sometimes all you gotta do is read the scripture, and that's it. That's all you need. And that's what I love about the Word of God. But yeah, man, I appreciate it for being tuning in. I guess I don't say being a fan, but tuning into it. Definitely gonna get you on the show. So be ready
I'll be
for
there.
that. But yeah, man, it's been an awesome deal. So hopefully we can keep it going.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for being on the Sundays for NASCAR show, and I hope you have an awesome Thanksgiving with you and your family.
Likewise, and I want to say this too, man. Love your show as well. Love the logo. Looks definitely better than mine.
Appreciate it.
But you guys keep doing your thing as well. You don't know. You guys could be inspiring someone else who's watching your show to not only be a fan of NASCAR, but I mean just encouragement. It doesn't always have to be coming from the scripture, which it should be, but it doesn't always have to be to encourage someone. To keep pressing on. So I love what you guys are doing as well. And so keep that up, man. But yeah, no problem. Whenever you want to talk or do the show, man, just let me know. But I gotta. You owe me a couple, so just
I
sit close
definitely
to
do. I definitely do.
me.
We're gonna link
Yeah.
up soon, my man.